A very good afternoon to all of you. I am Anisha on behalf of Federation of Indian Export Organizations. Welcome you all to this interactive session, which is jointly organized by FIO and Odex India Solutions Private Limited. For trade to prosper, smooth flow of EXIM processes is indeed an important element. Today's session is aimed to create awareness on important processes like verified gross mass and e-form 13. I now take this opportunity to welcome Ms. Liji Noval, Managing Director, Mr. Sangam Gupta, Product Manager, and Mr. Rohit from Odex India Solutions Private Limited. From FIO side, I welcome Mr. T.S. Aluwalia, Convener, Ports and Logistics Committee FIO, and Mr. Prashant Seth, Director FIO. I would now request Mr. Prashant Seth, Director FIO, for his initial remarks, please. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Manisha, and a very good afternoon to everyone. First of all, we extend very thanks to Odex team for joining hands with FIO for organizing this session. The session, we conceived this idea of holding this session because we were organizing sessions for EXIM policy and other procedures. But we thought that this is a good idea to go beyond the customs. So what are the processes and the compliances that an exporter has to comply with? Already, although they may not be doing it, or their freight forwarders are doing it, or they may be doing themselves also. But it is a good exercise to learn what is the complete process, because the compliances and the formalities that we are talking of are of relevance what we have to comply with shipping lines as well as the ports. You see that VGM is now mandatory. So VGM, some digitization has taken place. Now for the factory stuffing, what is the process for VGM? What for the port stuffing? How you will do that? Whether your payment is registered or not, that will be suffice the VGM process or not. Because E-form 13 is mandatory to be filed before entering your cargo to the port. But for filling the E-form 13, you need to have a VGM. So I'm sure that all of us would learn from this exercise and what is the developments in terms of digitization has taken place and how the Odex platform is going to benefit all of us. So with these words, I wish that every one of us learn a bit, and please feel free to raise all your queries with regard to that. Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Mr. T.S. Aluwalia, Convener Ports and Logistics Committee FIO, for his address, please. So, over to you.
Good afternoon, and I would like to welcome team from Odex and my friends. Thank you, Prashad, giving an overview on the importance of the VGM. I'll come to the VGM little later on. I just want to give a few things which is important for the trade and our exporter friends also. As all are aware, since March, we are facing problem related to the COVID, which has left a very remarkable things on our industry as the exports. Our export in April fell by about 65%. In May, it was down by 35%. June, it was around 15 or 17%. So that way, we were not in position to achieve our pre-COVID status. This year, we are expecting a fall of 10% in our exports, and similar fall in the economy is also expected. So the export and the economy, world economy, are going hand to hand otherwise. There are certain sectors which are doing well, which did well, in fact, in the COVID lockdown situation also. That was the pharma, food, health, FMG, these sectors are still doing well, and they did very well in the COVID lockdown. Now the new opportunity is coming from the logistics, for providing logistics for the COVID vaccination. So vaccine has to be transported under a certain conditions where the temperature has to be controlled and rigidly controlled, so that the desired impact can be achieved by giving the medicine to human being. So I was going through an article that about 60,000 40-foot reefer containers are required to transport this vaccination from producing country. India is the hub for making the formulations. 60% of the world formulation is said to be happening in India. So, as you might have learned from the news that Russian Sputnik vaccination is going to be developed by the I think Dr. Reddy's lab. So this way, India is also developing their own formulations, and that will be in great demand in the countries where they are waiting for the multinationals to develop and supply them. So definitely Indian medicines, Indian vaccination will be costless. So we are expecting a lot of business on this. But the vessel availability is going to remain same. So keep in mind, though it will be refrigerator, container, but the vessels remain the same. So it will be putting some kind of the burden in again on the shortage of the vessels to transport our exports. And currently, we all are facing, every day we listen, the problem related to the shortage of the containers, which is a result of the variation into the export and imports. Earlier, our imports were higher. More containers were coming from China, and China was giving us low value, high volume products. So number of more containers were coming per $1 billion or per $1 million from China, which has stopped. So we are trying to import about 4 lakh containers every month to fulfill the gap. The situation can be balanced only when our export will balance, but we are focused on Atmanirbhar. Atmanirbhar means more export and less import. So ultimately, we have to face higher tariff, higher sea freight, and that can have an impact the cost of our products, competitiveness of our products, as well as the profitability of the exporters, as well as the importers. So that is very, very important thing where we should keep watch and try to make some contact with the shipping line in advance if you are sure about your business, that you are going to export or you are going to get business month-wise. Give them indication. Today, the minimum problem is faced by the companies. Those have a regular contact with the shipping line, and shipping lines are bound to give them on the agreed freight containers on priority to those companies. So plan in advance and try to load the goods at the port, because if the container will come to the hinterlands for ICD Delhi or ICD Ludhiana or somewhere else, it is going to take another 15 days to send container back, or 20 days more. The importers, we have requested importers to clear the cargo as soon as they get at the port. They get 14 days free time, sometimes they get 21 days. If they will keep on waiting for so much, means your containers are getting blocked. The another thing which is hurting us is the new scheme, the procedure, faceless custom. The custom officers, either they are not familiar because they are not at the port, and they might not having the experience of dealing that kind of the product. So they are raising a lot of queries and answering that queries, again raising new queries, and all this taking a lot of time. So my estimations are that faceless at the moment is taking more time than the previous normal system. because there the credibility was working at a certain port like Mundra, Bombay or somewhere. Some CHA, they were having the credibility, and as soon as they were putting up the papers via e-sensit or physically submitting the document for exports, they were getting the clearance on the priority basis because their credibility was established. Now this credibility is gone because everything is online. So online, the credibility, the system will build the credibility, which will take time. VGM, coming to the VGM, the verified gross volume. This is very, very important for a vessel. Earlier, what was happening, the people were just estimating the goods weight and volume and container here weight, and just making a statement, putting on the packing list, total weight is so much. But when you put on a weighing bridge, it was showing different. The difference may not be say 5%, 10%, but in certain cases, some errors. In errors may be typing error or some other kind of, or some manipulations also. If a container, the actual weight is about 35 metric ton TEU, and it is mentioned that it is carrying 25, or actually it is carrying 35. You have put it 35 to save your freight or whatever the reason may be. When the containers are loaded on a ship, the company has to plan, the captain has to plan the loading of the containers in that way that ship should be balanced in all the directions, horizontally, vertically, in all directions, because it has to float. If the weight, more weight will come to one side, the vessel will tilt towards that side. If the more weight will come at the rear side, the vessel from the upper side, it will take upward moment. And if the heavy containers are put it on the top, which was by mistake, showing lesser weight, because the heavy container has to go at the bottom and the lighter has to go at the top. Now, when the heavy by mistake, there is a mistake in the declaration and the containers are kept at the top, that will increase the CG, center of gravity of the vessel. So when taking a turn, or when there is a swing in the water, some problem with the water, or winds or wind pressure or something, they were giving trouble to the ships. So for the safety of the ship, it has been decided that weight of the container, in simple language, loaded with the goods, the final weight of the container should be verified, and it should be confirmed by the shipper to the shipping line, or otherwise shipping line or their agent should confirm the weight, so that this kind of accident can be avoided. So we have the experts now. They can give more detail about this and how to go about it. So thank you, Manisha.
Thank you, sir. I would now request ODEX team to finally take up from here for their giving brief on VGM and integration and Form 13, followed by the presentation. Over to the ODEX team, and over to Rohit, please.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Manisha. Before I proceed, I would like Liji ma'am to address few words, and then we can proceed ahead with the presentations. Over to Liji ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you, Dr. Aliwalaya. Thank you, Prashant sir. Thank you, Manisha. It's always a pleasure holding a session with FIO. During our last interaction, where both the entire FIO team and ODEX, when we worked together to bring the details of SCMT to the trade and to cargo owners, the one thing that we had in our mind was also how do we ensure that everybody who's part of the EXIM community knows the details well in time of changes in regulation. So I just happened to mention to Prashant sir, saying that, when we did this journey of introducing BGM on a platform in India in 2016, we found that a lot of the cargo owners were not aware of the regulation itself and what it could mean, um, and what changes it could mean to the way they do their business. And he happened to mention that a lot of them may still not be aware of how things have improved over the last 4 years, how easy it is to today file a VGM, how exporters can look at integrating their Weybridge data with a portal like ours, so that the data errors that Dr. Aluwalia was talking about, that can be completely eliminated. How ERP integrations can be facilitated so that there is no need to enter data multiple times, once into your own ERP and once into a portal or to the shipping line. A lot of these, we figured out that a lot of the exporters were still not aware of, and that is where we felt that it's good to reach out and take this session. And thank you so much, Manisha, for being the backbone of organizing this. Once again, my thanks to Prashant sir and Alvaria sir. Thanks for giving us this opportunity. Over to you, Ravit.
Thank you, ma'am. So I'll start. Firstly, I'd like to thank FIO, Manisha, Aluwalia sir, and Prashant sir for giving us an opportunity to give an interactive session on VGM and Form 13 flow. So without wasting much of the audience time, I'll quickly start up with the presentation. So let me share my screen with all. So just like to confirm, is it visible to all the members?
Yes.
Or yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a small brief I'm going to cover in this presentation would be on VGM and the Form 13 with the integration, how integration would actually help. So moving ahead, just to give a small brief what ODEX is. So ODEX is basically a online platform which is being designed for the ocean shipping community, and as a name stands for, its ODEX is online document exchange. So on this platform you can able to communicate, you can exchange your data, exchange your documents, and we also facilitate the payments. So whatever the payments which is on offline mode can be facilitated via ODEX through this online platform for the complete export and import community. Moving ahead to next slide, to give a small brief on what ODEX system ecosystem is and who all are our stakeholders. So on a single platform, if I talk about, we have around exporters, we have importers, we have freight forwarders, we have custom brokers, we have port terminals, along with the key stakeholder which are shipping lines and the banks. And talking about in the numeric terms, then on ODEX, we release around 70,000 plus documents per day, which includes like invoices, delivery orders, e-extension letters, extension letters, and others. So as I already told, we have around 100 plus shipping lines. Then we have port terminals. We have 5,000 plus freight forwarders who are registered on our ODEX platform, along with 7,500 custom brokers. Then we are also integrated with SAP and other online trade ERP systems. Then we are also integrated with Weybridges, which is one of the key topics in today's session. And apart from that, we are also integrated for the payment facilitation. We are also integrated with various banks so that it's easy for the customer to make the payments online through ODEX. And not the last but not the least, we have around exporters and importers who are in numbers, if I talk about 15,000 plus on ODEX platform. So to summarize, basically what ODEX as a comprehensive tool. So on a brief, I would say that we are expertise in terms of raising invoice. So customer can come on ODEX and they can able to receive their invoices via shipping line directly in a few minutes, or you can say few hours. Then we also have payments. The payments can be made through our online portal, and customer can able to receive their delivery orders from the shipping line, which are released directly by shipping line over ODEX. Then we have PCS. We have also integrated with PCS for the delivery orders. Then we also have e-extensions letter, which are being released by shipping line over Odex platform. And we have terminal payments. So currently, recently we got integrated with BMCT. So you can able to make your BMCT payments via Odex platform without wasting much of your time. And the payment option, if I talk about, then we have online payments, which we accept through any of the banking mode. Apart from this, as per the regulation, we also accept the UPI payments. Moving ahead on the next slide. So, talking on a generic term and talking focusing on the from the export point of view, we have CRO, which is also being released by shipping line on Odex. So customer can come and request for the container release order. Then we have shipping bill, which is also one of the key elements of export modules on Odex platform. Then we have export manifest, which is also you can file your export manifest on Odex. Then invoices and payments, as I already told you earlier, that invoices and payments related to both imports and exports can be facilitated and being provided by Odex. Then Waybridge EDI, which is the electronic data interchange. We are integrated with most of the Waybridges, so the data exchange can happen. And we'll talk about this topic in our next slide, which is a key topic for today's session. Then VGM again, which is a vast topic which you are going to cover in next slide as well. And gate pass, which is also known as Form 13 or Form 6 in few of the ports. So we are going to cover that in next slide. So giving a small landscape of a VGM and Form 13 flow. On the left hand side, these are the data points through which we can able to get it captured on Odex. So if I talk about these three scenarios are there. One is a Waybridge, another is a shipper, and third one is a CHA or the freight forwarders. So through them, the data is being populated on Odex. So first I'll talk about Waybridges. So Waybridges, there are two type of Waybridges. Some are personally owned by the shippers, or another are the acclaimed or the recognized one which are on the roadside, which being recognized by DG Shipping. So being talking about Odex, so we are a DG Shipping approved VGM issuing body, and once the shipper or the shipper go on the Waybridge for the payment, once he enters the data, the if the Waybridge is integrated with Odex system, so the all the data related to the Waybridge gets auto populated onto the Odex system. This is one. Second, talking about shipper, so we do offer API for the integration. So suppose if you are entering your data and if you are integrated with Odex system, then you can able to whatever the data you are entering, that's get captured on Odex system, which helps you in auto populating of data while VGM or issuing Form 30. And third one is a CHA. All these data sources we extract or we are integrated, and the data is auto populated on Odex system. Then once the data gets auto populated, it's easy for a shipper or a CHA or a freight forwarder to lessen their work, because whatever the data which is being captured over the Waybridge gets auto populated, and the VGM can be filed to the shipping line. And whatever the VGM data is available on Odex system, and while filing Form 13 also, some of the VGM data gets auto populated on Form 13. What are the data points which are there on Form 13, which gets auto populated and being submitted to the shipping line. We are also compliant in terms of whatever the shipping line is accepting as a format. So Vermas and Coprar are the two formats in which shipping line accept the VGM and the Form 13 data. So whenever you enter the data points on Odex platform, or whenever it's being entered and when it's get auto populated through Odex, is being sent in Vermas and Copra format to the shipping line, which ultimately is being submitted, and the gate pass being issued in a form of Form 13 or Form 6, and you get a successful entry to the ports in terms of exports. Moving on to next, this is basically a high level flow. Correct, Manisha, if I'm going too fast, please let me know. I don't want to be fast. I want my audience to be clearly understanding the concept which I'm explaining to them.
I think it is fine.
It's fine?
The speed is
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So, talking on the high level diagram of the VGM and the Form 13 and integration. So, on the left hand side, you see the Weybridge applications. So, as I told, that two kinds of Weybridges are there. One is a personally owned, another is the roadside one, which is being accredited by the government. So, most of the Weybridges are being integrated with us. If not, if you want to integrate with Odex, we provide you the API, and accordingly you can get integrated, so that whenever the payment is being done on the Weybridge, the data can flow directly to the Odex. And while submitting this VGM or Form 13, you don't have to do more manual work, because whatever the data which is being required gets auto-populated over the Odex. It receive and store the data through the Odex OPI, and then it merge the data, whatever the data is being entered from the shipper side or from the Weybridge side, and then it's get sent to the shipping line, and accordingly the gate pass can be issued. Moving on to next, Weybridge to gate pass entry. This is a small pictorial representation in terms of explaining the audience that how it flows. Like if you see the first thing, Weybridge, which are fully integrated, gets the VGM data, which generate through auto VGM. Most of the Form 13 data points can be entered and auto populated from the VGM side, and being submitted to the shipping line, and a gate pass, which is Form 13 or Form 6, can be issued, and your container can get in. Talking about the flow, so if you can see, this is the shipper third party Weybridge enters the data, then VGM submitted to the shipping line, and then you can see auto population of VGM in the form of Form 13, and Form 13 will be confirmed and container will get in the terminal. Talking about the Odex doing VGM from Odex benefits, or Form 13s are like, for VGM benefits, this is a safe and secure data prescribed by Solus and DG Shipping. As I already told you earlier, that we have been listed on the DG Shipping website in terms of the compliant party for issuing the VGM. So it's being completely safe on Odex platform. VGM also can be filed pan India or port or ICD. It's not only we are taking care of the any specific region in India, but yes, we do care of the complete pan India. You can able to file VGM whether you are sitting in any parts of the India. You can file VGM through Odex. Then it's a EDI, like electronic eliminates the manual data entry, and as I already told you that most of the data gets auto populated, so the manual intervention is less and the human errors are being lessened through integration purpose. Then error-free VGM submission, avoiding the manual intervention, as I told you. And it obviously, if the data gets auto-populated, so obviously you're going to save your time and your cost, and you can able to view the real-time VGM information over Odex. So you don't have to wait or ask or search for where exactly your VGM is lying. So once you submit the VGM via Odex, you can able to view what's the status on the VGM or on Form 13 when you submit to shipping line. Talking about Form 13 benefits, is assistance in the online transmission e-Form 13 request to the relevant stakeholders. So as I mentioned earlier in my slides, that you can, since data gets submitted to the shipping line, accordingly in a required format which is being asked by the shipping line. So once you submit the Form 13 via Odex to shipping lines on checking the data gets confirmed and provide you the gate pass. Then it's a visibility of the mandatory attachment to the respective authorized stakeholders. If required, we can also show you how VGM or Form 13 is being filed. If you want to have a look on that, we have our YouTube channel in which we have given a complete presentation on how you can able to file Form 13 or VGM via ODEX platform. Now, talking about the benefits, other benefits is the automated notification and alerts. As I already told you, that you will get notification in terms of what's the status of your application of Form 13 or VGM is. And again, it reduces time and cost. And the main part is dependency on the manual process. And in the manual process, there will be more manual interventions, and hence the chances of errors increases. Moving on to next. So this is a small, basically how Form 13 or VGM and via integration can with ODEX can help you. We will be open for the discussion, or we will be open for providing more information on the products which we offer, even on VGM and Form 13. If you want to have, please feel free to connect with us. We'll be happy to assist you. And as mentioned earlier, you can also refer to our ODEX YouTube channel, in which we have published most of the product related videos, in which you can able to see how VGM can be submitted, how you have to opt the option of VGM and Form 13, how you can cancel. All the procedure is being given. And if you want a detailed discussion or a detailed presentation by ODEX team, we'll be happy to assist you. You can definitely get in connect with us. So that's all from the presentation point of view. We will be open to answering all your questions. I have my colleague, Mr. Sangam Gupta, who is a product manager and who technically can guide you what are the what are the benefits in terms of technicalities, and what are the future benefits which you will get from VGM and Form 13 by filing via ODEX, and what are the key benefits you'll get doing integration. So all these things will be open to answer in this session as well. Thank you very much. Over to Manisha.
Thank you, Rohit. Now the floor is open for the participants for their queries. They can just explore the option of raise hand, and they can put up their queries. We have our first query from Mr. Jawahar Abhichi. Sir, kindly put up your query, please.
Manisha, just wanted to intervene you.
Yes, sir.
Manisha, please also take the some queries are there in the chat box also. Kindly have a look at that also.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Please
Okay.
put up. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. This is Jawahar from Coimbatore. Sir, a couple of questions. I am a new exporter, so I would like to know, is it me who is going to file the VGM Form 13, or is it going to be my CHA? Who is going to do this? I just want to get the clarification on that.
Okay. Yeah, hi, sir. Actually, VGM can be filed by both. Either you can file or CHA can also file on behalf of you.
Okay, both. So if I have to file by myself, then I have to create a login and a password with ODEX platform.
Yeah.
That's true, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay. And the second question is regarding the ODEX services, sir. See, if I have a buyer international buyer, then he's going to pay me through his banking channel, right? So, it's going to come electronically from his bank to my bank, or it's going to be through LC, 50% advance payment, things like that. So how is ODEX, in the middle, connecting me and my buyer, those services, I don't understand how the ODEX is helping the exporters, sir. Can you just give me a brief idea of the payment gateway is done?
Hi, Jawahar.
Yeah.
As of today, ODEX does not enable payments from consignee to shipper.
Okay.
What we ease out is the challenges of payments between a BCO, which is an exporter or an importer, to the various stakeholders like shipping lines and port terminals. And obviously, these are the key trade partners who have to issue various documents that can allow your cargo to move. So ODEX is a neutral platform where you can find many shipping lines and many terminals to whom you can submit your documents easily, and you can also pay them very easily on ODEX.
So
but we do not.
Without going through a CHA, I can directly go through ODEX and do it. Is that how it?
You can. It's a choice that the importer or exporter makes. If they are confident that their documentation can be managed, we are here to assist, and it can be directly, there could be a direct interaction enabled between various stakeholders and the exporter importer.
Or
Uh,
otherwise, should I tell my CHA to go through Odex? How does it work? I don't.
So we have both types of customers, sir.
Okay.
We see that a lot of exporters, importers might prefer to use an agent, which is the custom broker or the forwarder, for the ease of handling customs side of their shipments. And apart from that, it is also possible to do it directly. So in fact, we have a lot of customers who also file directly, where they have their own departments which handle this. So
Okay.
both are possible. In fact, Rohit will give an email ID at the end of the session. You can write to us. We can hold a training both for your team as well as your CHA if needed. No problems. We are happy to do that.
Thank you, ma'am. And then for LCL shipments, does Form 13 is applicable still for LCL, because the CHA is going to consolidate there, right? So does it still, the exporter has to follow the procedure for Form 13?
Yeah, so for LCL shipment, actually your CHA, actually that time your CHA is acting as a freight forwarder, and that freight forwarder is filing via Form 13, because that Form 30 is for container.
Okay. Okay. And do I have to get a copy of it, or anything related for for closing of the export order? Do I need the the copy of the Form 13, or the gate pass or anything like that? Do I have to ask my CHA to give me a copy of that?
No, I think Mr. Jawahar, just to add on to replies, respond to your queries. You see, the whole EXIM chain, we have different set of stakeholders. For filing of shipping bill, that is a customs requirement. So CHA's main role is for the filing of the shipping bill and getting the custom clearance of your goods.
Yeah.
Now comes the role how your consignment will move. Then there comes the role of a freight forwarder, where you are going to book a container with a shipping line and then taking and complying with the whole process. Whether it is filing of documents with the customs or complying with the shipping line formalities, an individual who has limited manpower can do it on his own. So that is not a problem. The customs also allows. Now with regard to the payment that you were asking, that is your AD bank. The authorized dealer bank who is authorized to deal in foreign exchange, that is the understanding between you and your buyer, how you're going to do that. That is sometimes based on the bill of lading, because some kind of a receipt is issued by the liner. Whether it is an LCL shipment or an FCL shipment, the bill of lading is the contract of carriage. So that is the title of the goods also. So that is the negotiable document which you pass on directly to your buyer or through your bank. So that is some understanding. So I think we deliberated on this a lot. For any queries, you can reach us to us since you are a startup, so we can guide you further. Manisha, move on to the next question.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jawahar. Let's take up a question from the chat box. We have a query from Mr. Pushpakant Dongre. He's asking why Odex is not accepting payments through credit card. So, Odex team, over to you for answering this question.
Yeah, hi Manisha. I have just clarified to Pushpakant on personal chat, but also I think something that Sangam also clarified to me right now. We are, in fact, we have just tested credit cards, and we should be going live in a couple of weeks. Sangam, that's right?
Right. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
ma'am. Mr. Sangam, you want to add something?
No.
Yeah, fine. We have a query from Mr. Shubham Biswas. Sir, kindly put up your query, please.
Yeah, hi ma'am. My question is, how does the Odex leverage or facilitate to the port and terminal operator?
Sangam, you want to take that one?
Okay, yeah. To port and terminal operator, there are multiple things in which we are helping terminal operators, like to accept payments for all their DPD charges and for accepting Form 13. We are already integrated with a few of terminals in which we are directly integrated. So in that case, once that shipping line is approving the Form 13 data, it is directly going to terminal website. So there is no manual intervention, it is flowing seamlessly.
Okay.
Like we have terminals, or a few terminals also, for which we are receiving payment. So whenever customer is willing to make payment for their DPD charges, they are directly coming to ODEX and making payment.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shubh.
Shubham,
Yeah.
just wanted to check on this. You're talking about the terminal payment because recently customs allowed just to in view of the high THC charge by the shipping lines, the custom has given permission that exporters can make payment to terminals of THC component. So whether it has come a reality on the ground or it is still yet to be implemented.
Prashant sir, from our side, we have facilitated payment of THC at the first terminal is BMCT in Navasheva. I am not sure about how the regulation or the notification has played out, but if anybody wants to make a payment to BMCT, they can actually go on ODEX and receive the proforma invoice first, make a payment, and then collect the final invoice. And this data is also passed on to the terminal so that the gate out of the container can be smoothly taken care of. So this
So
entire piece is integrated, sir.
So Sangam was talking about the direct port delivery. So that is on the
Yes.
import side. On the export side, the term is the direct port entry. So
Entry,
whether
okay,
that is
yeah.
something has taken up shape in that direction or it is
Not
since
yet,
you
sir,
are
but
not yet.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a question again from the chat box. So Rohit, should I take up the questions or it has already been addressed? There is
You
a
can
question.
just tell me what's the question.
No, I think
Yeah.
we need to take this up, Manisha. We have not responded to this one.
Right. Why payment details required for method 1 in BGM? This is a question from Mr. Sandeep.
So Sangam is going to take that question.
Okay. Payment details are required in both, in method 1 and method 2. In both case, payment details are required because at the end of day for BGM, you need to declare the payment of the entire container along with the empty container. Okay. So to fulfill the SOLAS need, that is required.
Okay. The next question is again from Mr. Pushpa Khan Dongre. Can shipper get the alert of issuance of Form 13?
Yeah, definitely they can get. On ODEX, there is a field, there is an option where your CHA or your direct team, if you are directly filing Form 13, they can mention your email ID. So whenever Form 13 is approved or confirmed, you will get notification.
Okay, right. We have a next query from Mr. Vinod. Sir, kindly put up your query.
Yeah, I thank you for arranging this session. My query is, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you very well.
Okay. My query is that suppose normally my shipments are all LCL shipments and we don't provide VGM to the shipper. We provide the BL draft which have the weight and everything, with CPM calculations of everything. But if we go directly to the ODEX and provide them all the details, so then also we have to pay the VGM charges to the shipping forwarder.
No, sir. In this scenario, where you are dealing with LCL consignments, you will
Right.
be giving your consignment to your forwarder. Your forwarder will consolidate your cargo, and once that is packaged, that container is sealed, then your forwarder will take the payment, and your forwarder will declare the VGM of container.
So
So in
in
that case,
LCL shipment, sorry, in LCL shipment, we don't have to provide the VGM.
yeah, you don't need to provide VGM. You just need to provide the actual weight so that they will be able to recheck or cross check. If you are providing, let's assume a 1000 kg, and there are such 10 transactions, so it should be 1000 into 10. So they will be able to get a approximate weight whether the provided weights are correct or not.
Because the VGM charges are on the, I think on the higher side. It's $20 in the charges for orders.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Vinod, anything else you wanted to put up?
Vinod, so anything else you wanted to us to address?
I think
I think, sir, you are muted.
he is muted.
No, it's okay.
That's all. Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, we can move to next question.
Yeah. So there is a question from Mr. Pradeep Mishra that in ODEX system, do we have to mention cargo weight or container weight also?
No, you don't need, while declaring VGM, you don't need to mention cargo weight and container tear weight. You can directly put up the actual VGM weight and you can declare.
Fine. The next query is from Mr. Swapnil. He's asking whether there is a delay in issuing Form 13 from shipping line. I think this is quite incomplete. There is again a query from Mr. Pradeep Mishra whether VGM charges is different from shipping line to shipping line.
No, VGM charges are common for all the shipping lines. It is just between the shipper and ODEX.
So just to clarify, on ODEX, we have a common charge. We will not be able to clarify for the charges from a shipping line or a forwarder, if any. So, but on ODEX, it's a very minimal charge. And for any shipping line, close to, I think, 150 plus shipping lines and NVOs are available on ODEX. And for all of them, it's a similar kind of charge. No variation at all.
Thank you, ma'am. All the questions from the chat box we have taken up. I request participants to, if they have any further questions, they can raise their hand. There is a question from Mr. Swapnil that some shipping line delays in issuing Form 13. So you can take up the matter with shipping line. Let's hear up with Mr. Swapnil only. Mr. Swapnil, if you are there, sir, you can raise up your query over this platform only. Mr. Swapnil?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there are some shipping lines. If, for example, if I submit the Form 13 in morning, and they approached in midnight, or if the container is by around 11:30, and I have dropped Form 13 at 10. So why there is a delay in issuing Form 13 by shipping line? So can you take up the matter with shipping line?
Yeah, hi Swapnil.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi Swapnil. Whenever there is a turnaround time to issue Form 13, that is around a 3 to 4 hour ODEX maintenance. Or whenever you are facing such challenges, you can raise this to us, to our support team. You can mention the shipping line and their location so that we can check with them.
Okay.
Generally, they don't delay it. There can be a exceptional cases. There can be a heavy load at their end. Then only they delay. Generally.
But sir, I have some queries with Mugs shipping line. The Mugs shipping line is there is a delay in all the shipments. With Mugs.
Okay, so we will just request you, you can share us some booking number with us on mail, so that we will raise this with respect to shipping lines.
Okay, no problem, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one query and maybe some kind of understanding that we would like to have from you. Recently, we have seen a phenomena where we have witnessed a huge shortage of containers, maybe blank sailings and other things happening, not much vessels calling on the Indian shores. So there was a case of lot of cases of containers shut out and things like that. So since you are maintaining the whole system, so what is the idea that you can give, maybe that has happened in the last 1 or 2 months, where the booking number is there, VGM is there, and the E-form 13 is not issued?
Sir, with a request from FIO, we can, if with the consent of CSLA, we can pull up the data and share with you, sir. And we could look at it
But
deeper to
such cases
understand the
are there?
significance. I doubt, sir. It would be rare because if a VGM has been filed, then a Form 13 will usually be issued. The challenge, sir, would be for the container release order because of the shortage of containers. Where there is a booking, but a container release order does not come through, which is the the delivery order for export container. That doesn't come through. That is where we see a challenge.
But we were informed that a lot of containers shut out happening at the port, or maybe containers are not issued the Form 13. So those are also the cases. But
yeah.
I think your system can take out of that if we get in
Sure, sir.
through the
Yeah.
proper channel. Okay.
That's right, sir. So we can definitely pull out the data where VGM was filed and Form 13 was rejected, Sangha. We could,
Yeah, sure.
we should be able to provide you the data, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We have some few more questions. I can see in the chat box. We have a question from Mr. Sriram. Who is responsible for VGM? Is it the shipper, CHA, or carrier?
Actually, that shipper, the person who is exporting the things, he is responsible for the payment because this is their cargo which is going to be which is going for the payment. Okay, whenever CHA is doing the VGM, CHA is doing on behalf of that shipper.
Okay.
Also, the IMO regulations, Manisha, the IMO regulations specify that the shipper is responsible for declaration of the weight of the cargo.
Right, ma'am. We have a question from Mr. Prabhu Ravi Kumar. He wanted to get the clarification about method 1 and method 2.
Okay. Yeah, hi, sir. Difference between method 1 and method 2 is, first of all, generally method 1 is followed, and to use method 2, you need to be registered and you need to be authorized from DG Shipping. So first, let us understand what is method 1 and method 2. Method 1 is you have stuffed all your materials, container is locked, and you are taking the payment. So this is the method 1 of payment. And what is method 2? I have tare weight of container, let's assume 2000 kg, and I have 100 packages of 20 kg cartons. Okay, so that is again a 2000 kg. So my total VGM is 4000. That is completely based on the mathematical calculation. So this is the difference between method 1 and method 2. And for most of the shippers and CHAs, they have to follow method 1 only. For method 2, they have to be registered with DG Shipping to use the method 2.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sangam, for answering this. We have the question from Mr. Shubham Biswas. He needs some briefing about the ODEX PCS, its benefits and challenges.
Okay. Yeah, hi, Shubham. ODEX is integrated with PCS. What PCS needs, PCS want to have data whenever any delivery order is released. They want to receive the notification in their EDI format, and PCS is exchanging data with the multiple stakeholders. So if you ask me challenges, I don't see any challenges because this is the add-on feature. Okay, so that is something which is reducing your effort also, because when shipping line is relieving DO, terminal is automatically getting the DO copy from PCS, so that when you are asking them for any charges, so they will not ask you to submit DO because they are already having it.
Okay. And the next question is from Mr. Dhiman. He's asking, for LCL shipments, can VGM be waived off by shipping line?
See, they will complete shipping line calls. We won't be able to comment on this.
Okay, right.
But I don't think so, Manisha, because VGM is for a container. Because why we are confusing with the LCL thing? Because LCL is handled by the forwarder. So forwarder gives their bill of lading and they doesn't issue the master bill of lading. So forwarder consolidates the cargo of multiple shippers and they will file their documents. So they have to have a VGM. So what they must be doing is that they must be maybe escalating the cost and sharing it among all the consignees that they have in the LCL.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. I want to announce here that many of the participants, they want to have complete details of VGM and Form 13. So all these details should be shared to the participants as they are requesting. And there is a query from Mr. Anil. He has recently filed VGM on ODEX, which was rejected by shipping line due to wrong number. Can Mr. Anil, can
booking
you please?
Number, wrong booking number.
Okay, wrong booking number. It was only error in 0, and we did not receive any rejection on ODEX. This is a very long question. Can Mr. Anil, can you please put up here over this platform? I'm just unmuting you, sir. Yes, Mr. Anil, please put up your query here, sir. Are you there, sir, Mr. Anil?
Yeah, hi, Manisha. Hi, Anil sir. I am assuming you are willing to ask that your VGM was rejected by shipping line, and shipping line can reject the VGM if they find anything wrong in the detail, and if there is any query related to notification that you didn't receive a notification, then you can just share the booking number and your container number with the ODEX support. They will get it checked, because whenever there is any action happens, we give a notification to our users.
There's always a trigger, sir, which is being sent directly to the customers. So you can
here, Anil sir, what we would like you to do is to check whose email ID is registered with ODEX.
Exactly. Correct.
Because the rejection report is usually sent, or any notification actually sent to the person whose email ID is registered on ODEX. And since we have a lot of participants here, I will actually urge all of you to please get this check done at your end, because sometimes employees leave, new employees join, and the email ID does not get updated. So we do face these challenges, and when customers reach out to us, we request them to update their email IDs and contact details so that you do not miss out on any notifications. And in fact, Sangam, correct me if I'm wrong, we also send SMS notifications in some cases, right?
No, at present we are not sending it. We are working on this thing.
So we are also working on getting SMS notifications out so that customers can seamlessly check the status. We also have a mobile app where the statuses can be checked. Sangam, you want to give a little bit more detail about that?
Yeah, in mobile app for your frequent thing like invoice releasing and VGM Form 13, you can use our app and you will be able to check the status.
Thank you, Mr. Sangam. We have a question from Mr. Pramod Rao, whether VGM software is linked to container gate in details. Please explain.
If you are talking container gate in detail, I am assuming you are talking about Form 13 or Form 6. Yeah, our VGM application, if VGM feature is linked with Form 13, Form 6. Once your VGM is filed, whenever while filing Form 13, whenever you are entering the container number, automatically that VGM will auto-populate and you will be able to submit it.
Right. Thank you. I think Rohit, we have covered. Yeah.
Manisha,
yes, Prashant sir. Yes, sir.
Just one suggestion that has come from Mr. Pratmesh. I would request Ms. Liji to kindly have a look at it, because that container rollover, whenever it is happening, so it can be a value-added thing. Our member is suggesting that ODEX can intimate the exporters with regard to the vessel rollover. So maybe,
yes, definitely, sir. Yes.
So Mr. Pratmesh has raised a very valid point in these times, because sometimes the exporter sitting at the hinterland is not aware about the status of his cargo.
Correct.
And
Correct,
they
sir.
have to solely rely on an intermediary. So if a direct message communication can start with regard to this rollover, we will appreciate it.
Definitely, sir. Sangam, in this case, if the exporter's ID is registered and
Yeah,
we should be
even
able to.
even a exporter's email ID is mentioned in the Form 13 request, and whenever shipping line is rejecting that Form 13 because of vessel rollover, exporter will directly receive the notification also.
Sir, it is already in place, sir. So if your email ID is updated, you should receive it. If not, please get in touch with us. We will be happy to get your credentials updated so that you can start receiving the notifications.
Perfect. Manisha, can we check with Mr. Pratmesh if he's there and like to supplement? What is the issue?
Yes, sir. I'm just checking. Mr. Pratmesh? Mr. Pratmesh, are
He's
you there,
unmuted.
sir?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. Please
Yeah,
put up.
hello everyone. Yeah,
Hello, sir.
my question is not regarding the Form 13 when it is rejected. My question was sometimes once the container is gated in, are you connected with the port authorities or with the shipping line whenever the container shifts from one vessel to another vessel? For some or the other reason, when the container gets rolled over from a vessel, when it is already in port, so if it is possible that you can check, you can keep a track or something like that, so you can intimate us, yeah, this container was gated in for this vessel, but it has shifted from this to this vessel. So it is not like when it is rejected or when it is confirmed, the mail is, yeah, we get the mail, but once it is gated in, I had to check with the shipping line every time. These days, shipping lines are not working up to the mark. So if it is possible, I would suggest that you can also send an intimation so the suppliers or anyone who is using it can be well aware that the container is now shifted to some other vessel or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for your suggestion. We will check this with shipping lines and we will try to get some solution for this.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Sangam. Let's
Thank
take
you.
up the query from Ms. Usha Chaudhary. Ma'am, please put up your query.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My question is that while submitting the shipping bill online, when we copy paste the booking number, when it fetches the data from the Form 13, and when it fetches the data from the Form 13, the port of destination is not the same port of destination as mentioned in the shipping bill, because in Form 13 we have to submit the port of destination of the next transshipment port. So there is always the error coming, and is every time we have to upload it in either by Excel, and again 2-3 error entire we have to do before submitting the actual shipping bill. So have you done the solution of this port of destination in this by submitting the shipping bill?
No, ma'am. At present, this is how it is working as you explained. Because as you rightly said, that Form 30 needs the next transshipment port and shipping will need the actual port of destination. And at present, this is how it is working.
No, but you have to do the solution, because every time we are facing this problem that we have to submit by Excel, and then again we have to do this. Then either you add a final port of destination in the shipping bill submission.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thanks for your suggestion. What we will do, I will request Rohit to just get connected with ma'am. We will discuss with you in details, and we will try to improve it.
Yeah, because it's all over India is the same problem.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
No worries, ma'am. We'll take your concern into consideration. We'll try.
Yeah, and while downloading the Form 13, as I am downloading online, I am able to download only one by one. Like I am having 10 containers in one DO. So I have to download individually. I have to take, then print, then I have to download. Is there any option that I can download all the forms together?
No, ma'am. You need to download separately.
But but before my CHA, they from Adani port, they have some login. They are able to download all the forms together. Can you do that option? Because it's wasting the time. Because see, anyway, we have to give to the agent for gating. So better if we can download all the forms together, so we can submit at once for one booking.
Okay, ma'am. Let us check on this.
Yeah, because it's time consuming.
Yeah, thanks, ma'am. Thanks for this.
Okay, please do solution of these 2 points on ODEX.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Prashant sir, you wanted to speak something, sir? Right, sir. So I think we have covered the queries, all the Q&A, question and answer chat box. Also, we have covered all the questions. Over to the Rohit now. Rohit, yeah.
Thank you, Manisha. So I'd like to say that yes, we are also in discussion. Firstly, we thank FIO for organizing this, and probably we are in discussion with FIO for organizing more such webinars in near future. And probably we would be coming early again in discussion. We are in discussion, and if in case everything goes well, we will be coming up with more session for the audience.
Thank you, Rohit. And it was a very fruitful session, and it was a great learning experience also for all of us, for the exporting community, and for all of us also. And we got to know various initiatives started by the ODEX, and being a very comprehensive toolkit, exporters they are made aware of various solutions it is giving for the exporting fraternity. So I think we should end the session now, and if any of the queries we have the participants, they are requested to email me. They can email their queries, and they can so that we can pass on those queries to the ODEX for the further answer. If any of the queries they are not being addressed here, we can address through email. So thank you everyone, and we hope to see you all soon for the future sessions we are organizing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you,
Thank you.
Prashant sir. Thank you, Mr. Ahluwalia. Thank you.